What's up, guys
What's up,
and ladies,
drywallers?
loyal drywallers? Welcome back to another episode of Holes in Your Drywall.
Hey,
I'm
Aaron.
Aaron.
And I'm Reid,
All right,
also known as yo boy
string cheese.
Steezus,
Oh,
Steez Nash. Aaron, do you know what Steez is?
isn't it like being cool?
No. Steez is the perfect combination of style and ease. Fun fact,
Like
back in high school, people called me Steezus because I was the Jesus of Steez.
Wow, way to compare yourself to Jesus. All right.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I've got good news for you.
All right. Hit me with it.
This week on the pod, we have a special guest, Tony Hawk. But
Oh,
some bad news is he will not be speaking because he crashed in a half pipe and busted his mouth up pretty good. So his jaw's wired shut right now.
okay. Well, tell us, brother Mike, that I said hi. And roll the intro music.
Holes in your drywall. Get higher, Aaron. Holes in your drywall. All right, ready, set. So Tony has a brother named Mike.
That's what I've heard, on the internet. Not actually sure, but
Mike Hawk. Tony Hawk and Mike Hawk.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Hey, please keep it clean for the internet. I didn't say the full name. But speaking of Tony Hawk, saw him in the news the other day.
Yep. Okay, so super cool. Tony Hawk is 50 years old, possibly the coolest human on earth, has made tons of money throughout the years, mostly off his video games, I think is where most of his revenue comes from.
I remember playing them.
Yeah, but he also makes money off brand deals, and he just signed a legendary brand deal at the age of 50 years old. He signed with Vans for a shoe deal. Previously, he was with Lakai, a company I'm sure a lot of people have not heard of.
Nope.
Yeah.
Lokai?
Oh, Lakai.
Shoot.
Those are sick. But I have a funny story about Vans while we're at it.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
So I've been wearing Vans since the 7th grade.
Okay, long time.
And then I switched over to Converse for a little bit, and then I went back to Vans. And I was trying to convince Aaron to get some Vans. Actually, I was just telling everybody to start getting some Vans. Our friend Clapp was the first one to give in and get some Vans.
He got the greatest colorway look ever. That's the thing.
Uh-huh. Tell me about them.
They're like checkered and like blue and then like high tops as well.
Yep. So Clapp got them, and then Blake got them. And so I said, hey, Aaron, you need to get some Vans. And he said, I will never, ever get Vans. And then everyone else got them. Aaron, how many Vans do you have now?
If you count the 2 that I already had from back in high school, I'm at 4. So I already had Vans before I said that.
Do they fit you, though?
Yeah, actually.
No way.
100%, yeah. But let it be known that Reid got the same style and color of Vans as me.
Okay, back up a second. Those Vans I picked out for you.
I already had them in mind.
You asked me, no.
Yes.
You asked me, what shoes should I get? And you sent me a picture of Vans and a picture of like athletic shoes. And I said, oh, buddy, I got some news for you. There's an athletic pair of Vans called the Vans Ultra Range, and sent those to you. And then you ordered them.
Let it be known that Reid still got them after me. But back to Tony Hawk, this dude is he's got to get like a lifetime deal with Vans. And I feel like
so.
Yeah, it's just big news that he's signing with Vans, but like I looked it up and he had his own shoe before. So like
yeah, he's had signature shoes for a while since he's kind of like
the Hawk one.
He
Airhawks.
also has his own skateboard company called Birdhouse, which that joke went completely over my head throughout my entire youth.
Oh,
Birdhouse because his
haha.
last name is Hawk.
Hawk. Yeah.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, I get it now. Birds of prey.
But yeah, moral of the story: we love Tony Hawk and we love Vans, especially Vans Ultra Ranges. For those of you that are unfamiliar with them, they look like old schools, but they sort of have a sole of a running shoe and a mesh upper instead of a canvas upper, and they're comfy and cool.
They're nice. They're like always ready to go.
Mhm.
I'll say that. So I'm looking at the notes. I see Quibi.
Yep.
Did you look into it at all?
So, as the loyal drywallers know, 3 weeks ago, we promised you that we would download Quibi because we looked at a poll of 14,000 people.
We-
7% said they liked it. Another 7% said they did not like it. And then 83% said they didn't download it.
I'm still
We
part of the
haven't,
83.
yeah, we haven't downloaded it yet. The thing is that, sure, there's a 90-day trial going on, but I don't want to give them my credit card information because these free trials, I always forget and end up paying for them.
That's why I just make a calendar like event and just like remind myself like, hey, cancel this. That's why I'm the more responsible
Yeah, so
drywall host.
you're a lot more responsible than me.
Um, well, I heard I was listening to another podcast, TMG podcast. I'm not sure what it stands for,
No
but they were
free
talking about
clout.
Quibi, and basically they're like, yeah, it's just essentially a copy of Full Screen, which is another app like that where they're shooting in, what is it, portrait?
Yeah.
Um, and they didn't like it either. So I don't
Yeah,
think we're the
but
only ones.
Quibi has a higher budget. Like they have actual actors, like
Oh,
some known people, and they had that $500 million marketing budget for their first year, which
oh,
I've
we
never even
we all
heard of Full
know.
Screen. So
Okay, fair. But I know Jimmy Tatro and Christian, his roommate, I don't know his last name. They're supposed to have a show on Quibi. So I would try that out because I like Jimmy and Real Bros of
yeah,
Simi Valley.
I like that they're trying something new because the streaming market and the social media market, honestly, is so monopolized. Before TikTok got popular, there was Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook that completely controlled. Like, what other social media apps do you know of people using?
Well, first off, TikTok sucks.
Yeah, we're not fans of
I could
TikTok.
I could totally get into it, but I think Vine really started it. Well,
Yeah.
Vine not really started it, but like really helped kick the social media video platform off.
Hmm.
And then Snapchat was still pretty big, and then
I did forget
all
to mention Snapchat. So there
yeah.
were four main social medias before TikTok. And the problem with social media, not so much the streaming services, but the problem with the social medias trying to gain footing is if someone gets it and no one's on it, then no matter how good the app is, you don't want to be on it because you want the whole point of social media is interacting with your friends.
Yeah.
Like there's this app called Byte that Aaron and I tried out. Incredible app. It's basically Vine 2.0. I'm sure you've probably heard of it but haven't downloaded it. It runs so smoothly and is designed incredibly well, but I only used it for about a week because I don't know anybody else that has it.
Yeah. I think the main thing about TikTok too is the editing. Like it has all those features.
Yeah.
Like even though I dislike the app, I still think there's funny stuff on it. I will never download or make a profile because Rip Vine, and I'm never gonna forget that. And also, China owns TikTok, so they can get all your information
Mhm.
if they want for free. Um,
Yeah,
but
that's another thing about social media. I feel like when people have the ability to edit more, those are the social medias that take off because did you ever download Beam? Beam was another video social media app, and the whole premise of it was that it wasn't supposed to not take you out of the moment. So you would film things by covering up the sensor. So you could hold your phone against your chest or against your nose, and it would immediately upload, but without being able to edit it. And everything looked horrible because you couldn't filter out the videos or crop them or anything. They just immediately uploaded.
Casey Neistat. Okay. Yeah, I think that's like the main thing about TikTok. It has all the editing. That's the one thing I want from it, but will never do
Mm-hmm.
because I see it and I get jealous. Yeah, that's pretty much how we feel about social media. And while we continue to post on every social media that we can about this podcast and get it out, we just want to say thank you for all those listeners. I haven't checked how many we've got, but we get some. I've been getting messages like, "Hey, it's good, keep it up." So,
And a side note for the loyal drywallers, if you message us on Twitter at both of us and tell us that you've been listening, Aaron will come to your house and kiss you on the mouth.
okay, well, let's not make promises that I would not like to deliver.
Oh, have you not told anyone about that yet?
Dude, that was.
Tweet us, hashtag holes in your drywall, hashtag Aaron, hashtag Reid, and then at both of us, and Aaron will come kiss you on the mouth.
Okay, we'll do it. I'm not gonna say when, so it might be a surprise kiss. But
yep, surprise kiss.
Yep, sure, we can do that. Mainly because I don't use Twitter anymore. But
Aaron, what's your ideal height for a woman? If you were making a woman in a lab, how tall would you want her to be to marry?
To marry?
To marry her and produce offspring.
Dude, I couldn't tell you. Maybe 5'6" to not 5'6", 5'4" to 5'7", 5'8". I don't know. I don't really think about heights for women, since I'm over 6 foot. What's up, ladies?
You're not over 6 foot. Let's just get that.
I am 6'1".
No, you're not.
On a good day.
With 2 pairs of shoes on, you're 6'1".
All right. First off, when we're done with this podcast, go down to your wall, get a measuring tape out, and measure how tall I am.
That's true. For those that don't know what he's talking about, we measure
a lot of people. Well, first off, there's a lot of people that don't know what we're talking about.
We measure out all of our friends to see how tall they are, and we have one specific wall that they're marked on, and so we can keep track of how tall our friends are.
He's grown.
Connor Clapham is our tallest friend by a little bit, and then Steven and I are tied for second place. Natalie,
Shaq's at the very top.
Yep, Shaquille O'Neal he's tall. He's a big boy.
So glad he came over that one time.
That was so fun. So crazy. So ideal height.
Yeah.
5'8".
I don't think about heights.
Yeah, well, I'm asking you to think about it, man.
I don't want to cause a ruckus in the comments and say Aaron hates short women. I would say that's not true.
5'3.5", 5'4". If you're anywhere outside of that, not gonna work.
You better hope Natalie doesn't grow.
If we start dating and you're 5'4" and you shrink over time from old age, if you're an 80-year-old woman and you go 5'2", over. Got to be 5'3.5" to 5'4".
See, that's the greatness of you being in a relationship. You can say that. Me, I got to keep all my options open. So
yeah, I love a short girl because she makes me feel like a bigger man. But can't say my kids are going to be great at basketball.
Hey, you don't know that yet.
Assuming
well,
I
actually,
make
no. Seeing
with
you,
this certain woman.
Dude, basketball.
I do love basketball.
I also enjoy a good basketball. Hey,
you got any news for me?
Well, I do have one story about basketball that I
Hit me.
thought, and I was like, wow, this is great. I'm going to share it on the podcast. So when I was younger, I had a backyard. I had a backyard. I had a basketball goal and like a little court in the backyard. And then you ever seen slam ball? It used to be on
big fan.
So they're basically like trampolines and basketball courts.
Mm-hmm.
I and my brother had the fabulous idea of, hey, let's put the trampoline on the basketball court because we also had a trampoline. What's good?
Sick.
And then we were playing one day and happened to be right under. I don't even know if you heard this story before, but I happened
I
to be
haven't.
right under the rim,
Mm-hmm.
and I jumped up, and like my brother did like a pump fake or something, which totally would be a travel and tramp ball or tramp ball. I don't know. That sounds bad.
Easy.
Um, but then like one of the things that holds the net literally went straight down into my head, and then like it had a hole. I think it was a hole. I don't know. I
You just had a
like
hole in your head?
or just like a cut. I don't know. It just indent, whatever. And then uh after that, uh ran into my dad, probably crying. Couldn't see like how bad it was because I got this really thick black hair and it was really great. Went to the ER, didn't have to get stitches or staples or anything,
Wow,
which is
you went
really
to the
surprising.
ER for absolutely nothing?
I had a gash in my head.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Um, but after that, I think I had a little brain damage because now I can't say my words good enough. Sometimes I stumble over my words, and I think that's what the rim hit.
Definitely.
Um, so,
I have another basketball story for you.
well, after that, we couldn't play
Tramp ball.
trampoline basketball in my backyard, and I'm good. My head's fine. It still looks funny.
You fully recovered from
I
getting
think
jammed
so.
on, from getting absolutely destroyed?
He did not score, but
I think you're remembering that wrong because you got your memory blasted.
okay, go on.
He hit it on your head so hard you can't even think straight anymore.
What was your basketball story?
So November 15th, 2013, one of my friends was moving.
Okay.
So I had the soccer team over to my house, and I had a mini goal hanging on a door in my basement.
Yeah.
And it was the main room in my basement, so it was big enough to play 3-on-3 games of mini basketball. And let me tell you, it got physical because it was one of those nice mini baskets. And so this big old hoss, he was probably a junior in high school, 210 pounds maybe, goes up for the dunk.
You don't have to talk about yourself like that in third
His,
person.
I wish. I haven't hit 210 yet in my life. I'm getting there though. This big old hoss goes up for the dunk, and his weight just carries him into the drywall. And
Reed
I
is
will,
now showing a picture,
and
and look how cute he is.
the hole in the drywall is about from my waist to my shoulders because this massive dude just
That
goes into the
is
wall.
a pretty good hole. If
Yep.
if you're not watching it on YouTube, go ahead and look at Reed's Instagram. It's probably way down there, and also give
November
him a follow.
15th, 2013
I
is
was
where it
really
is.
curious on how you pulled a specific date out like that, because I didn't know it was even on your
Because
Instagram.
I
So
have a great memory.
that's not true.
Actually, most people can do that. That didn't get dunked on so hard they forgot half their childhood.
So, well, that's not funny, okay, at all. But what do you want to get into? You want to get into NBA and Duns,
One and dones. Yeah. So
drones?
this big dude that missed that dunk in my house obviously won't be a one and done. But how do you feel about one and dones, the NBA making kids go to college?
Um, I don't know. I think it's bad, essentially, just totally because the kids aren't there to learn anything. I think that they should get rid of the rule, or at least make it like, hey, you can go to the NBA because most of them will probably fail right out of high school unless you're like LeBron James good or like that top tier. But if you have, um, but like, hey, if you don't go to college or if you don't go to the NBA, you have to stay for 2 years, anything like that. I do think the G League is pretty interesting, a route instead of going to college, where they're getting paid. But I don't think we have enough people that have done that yet to see how well they turn out. I know one guy, Anthony,
Anthony Simons?
yeah, he's been like playing pretty well. So I know that's like the one thing, but I don't think anybody else has really done it yet.
Yeah, I think it's a horrible rule. Um, what just I think the mindset is they want kids to get an education, But if you're going for 1 year of college,
You
you're
don't.
you're not really learning anything.
Yeah, and then after the tournament, you just don't even go to school.
Exactly. And and I think getting rid of the one and done would fix a lot of boosting problems, and it would also bring back the 4 years of college culture where you can actually build up a team and have a good shot at winning. Instead, it's just like the Dukes and the KUs now that are getting these blue chip McDonald All American players that have a chance at winning because they have the one and dones that are sometimes NBA ready freshmen that are
Mm-hmm.
on teams. And I,
Yeah.
I think it's better for college basketball and fans in general if you get to see a core group like grow and develop together instead of just new guys coming and leaving every single year.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. I don't know when the next collective argument or
I think
bargain or whatever.
2025 they'll get rid of the one and done rule.
But that's for the NCAA because, or does the NBA have anything against it?
I don't actually know um,
So I feel like that would be an
how much.
NCAA. Wait, no, it's an NBA rule.
Yeah, it's an NBA rule because if it's above the NCAA, there's nothing they can do to stop it.
Yeah.
But I mean, the G League has progressed enough to where I believe you can make $500,000 a year coming out of high school.
That's what they were offering them this year, I think.
Yep, which is a big plus, and I think that's largely due to RJ Hampton and LaMelo Ball going to Australia. I think they
Mm-hmm.
were the catalyst for that change.
Yeah. So I mean, it's pretty interesting to see where they're gonna go.
Yeah,
And
I just think it's so horrible. Like, you don't have to go to 1 year of college to do a lot of things in life. Like, why is that a
party.
requirement for the NBA?
Yeah, I'm curious to see where it's gonna turn out. And then with more I guess high school prospects coming out or college prospects going to the G League, I wonder if they're gonna televise them more so people will see them,
Mhm.
Because I didn't even think about that before this.
Do you remember? I think it was probably like 6 months ago when the NBA tried changing the agent rules so that the agents had to have a college education, and that
Mm,
lasted like a week.
yeah. Rich Paul, right?
Yep, the Rich
Yep.
Paul rule.
Clutch Sports.
Yeah, Rich Paul is an NBA agent. He started Clutch Sports. He's the agent for a lot of.
Well, he was friends with LeBron James, right?
He's LeBron's agent. Yeah, Anthony
But
Davis's agent.
before LeBron went to the NBA, they were friends, I think.
Okay.
Something like that. And then the dude never went to college because he was already an agent. And what the NBA tried to do was hey, you need to have at least an associate's degree or something to be an agent. But that would take away from him or other people trying to be agents with their friends. I don't know. Which is it was a good thing that they removed it, and Reed's looking it up right now. I can see it in his glasses. Um, but yeah, if you don't like NBA, I'm sorry about this, but me and Reed both care about basketball and NBA. So we're gonna talk about this, unless Reed wants me to talk about 90 Day Fiance while he's researching, because I could go so in.
Yeah, let me hear about 90 Day Fiance.
Well, you're not listening, but you're just
I'm listening.
okay. Well, I got some recommendations to watch 90 Day Fiance because I had watched a lot of other stuff and started getting into 90 Day Fiance. Didn't really know what it was, but it's essentially people dating engaged to international people trying to get a K1 visa. And with this, I'm sad that I know that. With this visa, they have 90 days in the States to get married.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't get married in that 90 days, they get sent home. So a bunch of obviously if you're talking to somebody from international and most of these people meet online, so it's all right, first off, red flag, that person probably is not gonna keep the marriage or anything like that. And they just, I don't know, it's so cringe and just so bad. One couple, they were beekeepers. Nothing against beekeepers, I'll put
I
that out
am
there.
I'm an aspiring apiarist.
Okay, who's your beekeeper? My bee my my beekeeper owes me a favor. But So this woman from Nebraska was talking to a man from Turkey, and totally different, like religion, culture, stuff like that. And they didn't even speak, like, she didn't speak Turkish. He barely spoke English. So they had to use a translator, and just like you could see all the problems. And then like the dude, like, yeah, my mom or like my parents said I couldn't marry you because you had kids before this. Dude leaves the country like during the 90 days, and then like comes back, has like, I know you're bored, like 5 hours to marry the woman. They get married. One of
Oh
the
my goodness. What?
it's an emotional roller coaster. And then
That is insane. The premise of that show is just so flawed.
yeah, I mean it's kind of sad. It's sad for the people, but then like I don't know. It's also very interesting to me because like there was one couple that actually turned out, and I was like, oh, good for them. Like they actually like didn't just use each other.
No way. How similar were their cultures, the couple that worked out?
Well, one was a rich guy. He was 42, and then
There it is.
he was with a 24-year-old Brazilian.
I wonder why that worked.
I don't know, but they're together, I think. But it was just I binged it all in a week, you know. And it's just such a crazy
See,
concept, you
that's
know.
just so outlandish to me that I don't even know if that sparks my interest because I just know that it's not going to work.
Oh, if 90 Day Fiance doesn't spark your interest, they have I think 6 other shows about 90 Day, like before the show, after the show, um, and some other ones like Happily Ever After ? It's literally just like TLC's like, okay, yeah, we got him,
They're
we
milking it
got
for
him,
all it's worth.
right where we want him, and just man, I'll probably watch another season. I'll be honest, but did you happen to look up the NBA rules?
I did not know.
Okay, cool.
So talking about 90 Day Fiance, there's another love show that Aaron and I watch.
Love.
Basically, this podcast is just becoming about us watching reality dating shows.
What are we supposed to? Everyone's in quarantine, so
Yeah.
yeah,
You know, I mean, that's why the viewers come.
yeah. This is
So the
how we
latest
get
one that we
listeners.
watched is called Too Hot to Handle. It's a Netflix original.
Whew.
And these people, they sign up to be on this show that they think is just a retreat
I
with
think
the
it's just
hottest singles that they get to hook up with. And
yeah,
then once they get there, it's the same setup as Love Island, basically, with 10 people and
a
on a
couple.
in
Well,
a in a villa. And other than they don't couple them up for them.
yeah,
They don't require coupling up. So they get there, these singles, and they say, okay, this is not actually a hookup retreat. It's a self-development one. And you guys are not allowed to have physical touch, or they can have some touch, but
yeah.
they
No
they
kissing.
yeah
Anything beyond that.
yeah. So a kissing, they lose $3,000 out of the $10,000 grand prize. Sex is $20,000 out of the grand prize.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a range of things. And so when this show started, I was like, okay, it's like 3 weeks long, not having sex. That should be easy for $100,000. But you got to understand the perspective of me and Aaron being virgins. So
Hold over
yeah,
this.
it would be really easy for us. But these people they're quite a few of them were older, like 30-year-old and under probably, but they're older than us, and they all have had multiple partners. So you're
Yeah.
like, okay, they could probably take a break for a month. Not the case.
No, they did not care. But it's like I think the concept of the show, after thinking about it, is actually really cool. And just like, hey, we're actually trying to help you realize that you don't have to have physical interactions to build a good relationship. And I say my favorite character was definitely Jesus. That guy was very interesting.
There was a guy from Colorado on there that they kept referring to as Jesus, which I kind of got tired of that. But he was all about like, dude, I don't believe in marriage. Like, I believe in polygamy. And it was a little confusing because he had
Underrated.
He had a cross tattooed on his neck and on his forearm, and I believe the other side of his neck was a Bible verse. But
Didn't
I
see
mean,
that.
hey,
Yeah.
the guy ended up. Well, I won't spoil it, but
Yeah, no spoilers.
yeah.
I
But
wasn't too big of a fan of the end, I'll be honest. Like it was good. Can we talk about how the sorority chick sucks?
oh my goodness, there was a girl that came onto the show, and she was just like, "F this, I hate all of you," and
Oh my,
had the worst time on there.
like the exact opposite of like what they're trying to get her to do.
It was insane.
It's like
I
these
don't
people
know.
suck. I just can't wait to get the money.
So back to the concept of the show, though. I like it as far as they're teaching them a valuable lesson and developing them as people.
Yes.
But as far as winning the prize, it's just totally impossible for them to correctly pick who develops the most because you can't really tell. And also, there was a weird judgment of people that are developing in relationships or as singles because some were getting along with others, some were staying single. And
Yeah,
I think they had a really hard time judging it, which by the end of the show, I think you get to see that by how they distribute the prize
I guess
money.
that's true. I just was not sure like if it's supposed to be like a couples show like that because like Too Hot to Handle. I would
Yeah.
figure like they'd have to get in couples, stuff like that.
And see, I don't think they even had the concept defined enough to themselves to know that.
Yeah.
So it was a really flawed show, but my favorite part about it was that there was people from all over the world because watching Love Island, it's either the US version or the UK version. So either I'm seeing people that I can relate to and know, oh, they're from Colorado, that's why they're acting this way. This lady's from Georgia, and so on. Or I'm watching the UK version where I get to hear them talk about having good chat, and if they fancy that
Banta.
bed,
It's all about Banta.
you got to have good banter, you got to have good chat
Banta.
to win the bed, and you can't be a geezer if you want the bed.
Ooh. I'm a geezer.
You're a geezer. And so Too Hot to Handle, you get both of that. You get to
It
hear
was
the
yeah.
British people talk about having good chat and banter, and you get the US people that you understand their culture and why they're acting that way, like the sorority girl.
I really thought the boat guy was funny because like
Oh, that guy was a greaseball.
totally, but like the other guys are pretty good looking, and then this guy comes in, he's like, I live on a boat, and just like
Short, fat, greasy.
she's like, all right, like too hot to handle? Question mark.
Yeah,
But
I
it
think
was
that was
good.
they accidentally
Yeah.
recruited him. So I read a little bit about it after trying to figure out how they got these people,
Hmm.
and some were just like Instagram models that the producers reached out to, and
Oh,
I think some applied, and so that guy, I don't know how he slipped through the cracks and made it on the show.
maybe he just showed up on his boat because he talked about on his boat. He lived on a boat, so he's just like, oh, hey, I'm here, and the producers just like, yes, we need him. Yes.
Mhm. Yeah, I was looking into Love Island and how people got on that show too, because we have a friend, Noah Heinrich, who I think would be perfect for Love Island. So I sent him the application. But in the UK one, it might be a mixture of applying for it and then reaching out to models and trainers because I know of a Calvin Klein model. I read an interview where he said the producers just asked him to be on the show, and he's like, I don't
Third
want to.
season.
Huh?
Third season.
Uh, yep, third
Yeah,
season. That
best one. I'd watch that one. If you haven't watched Love Island, I would watch the UK season 3.
UK season 3,
UK
or the
season 3.
US season. I think.
I haven't watched that, so maybe I'll have to get into that.
Yeah, you should try that. Two other things you should watch
Mm-hmm.
for the Snapchat fans. Uh, there's two Snapchat shows that I can't get enough of. One is called How Far Is Tattoo Far? It's hosted by Snooki through MTV. Yeah, it's sick.
Okay, I didn't know that. So like you were just talking about it, and I almost tuned out. I heard Snooki, and I'm in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So uh, people sign up to be on this show to give their best friend or husband, wife, whoever they want to come on the show with, a bad tattoo. And they give each other bad tattoos to teach the other one a lesson. And so you get like the worst tattoos imaginable, because I'm sure they just pick the people that applies. Like, I'm sure you have to give your tattoo idea. And so they pick whoever's like giving each other the worst tattoos. But one wife gave her husband just this big old thing that took up his entire forearm that just said, "I heart porn," because she caught her husband. And I was like, okay, you taught him his lesson, but now everyone sees you married to a guy that has an "I heart porn" tattoo on his forearm.
I feel like it would be more embarrassing for the woman.
It's equally bad.
I mean, yeah.
And so I was trying to figure out what would cause someone to go onto this show, because you'd assume they're getting paid a lot to go on this, right? To get these horrible tattoos.
I highly doubt it with today.
Yeah, everyone needs their 15 seconds of fame. So here's what they get for being on the show: plane tickets to New York and a hotel room.
So they have to pay for the tattoo.
No, they don't pay for the tattoo,
Okay.
but you get like not even an expense paid trip to New York. You get the main things covered, but a weekend in New York to get the worst tattoo imaginable and to be mad at your significant other. I just blows my mind.
Why wouldn't you do that? It adds up.
What tattoo would you give me if we were on How Far is Tattoo Far? What lesson would you teach me?
Well, you can't just put me on the spot like that. I
Yeah.
wouldn't see. I know tattoos and they're permanent. I wouldn't want to do that to someone. I want to like give them something that they like. I couldn't imagine like going on there and like, "Yo, what's up, Reid? I'm gonna screw your life over with this.
I'm gonna put a giant string cheese on your neck."
Yeah, on my neck.
I would do something funny with like time, since you're always so stressed out about time.
Not stressed out. I like to be on time. And sorry,
and if you're not
all
on
of my
time,
friends
drives me
at
crazy.
that house, everybody at that house doesn't know how to be there on time.
We're on God's time.
No.
God's plan.
You're all on like extended clap time now because he left.
Nope.
Yes.
Don't even say I'm on clap time, because I even get stressed about clap.
Yeah, you're on clap time.
We have a friend that's late to absolutely everything. Aaron, how late is he to graduate?
He's about what is this, 1 year? Gonna be like 1.5 years.
Why has this
2
friend,
years?
Why is this friend that does not care about time not graduated yet from school?
So this is what he says to us. I don't know how 100% true it is and whatnot, because like advisors tell you what to take and like you can ask them what I need to take to graduate.
Yeah, I don't.
And this dude took summer classes last year because he was graduating, he was moving away and still needed to graduate, like actually get his diploma and get his credits done.
Yeah, so he took 4 years, and then on top of that, 2 summer classes.
Mm-hmm. And then what he had 2 summer classes. So he had 2, one that he needed, and then the other one he was like, "Oh, I don't need this. Like, why am I taking this?" Dropped it, then finds out like, "Oh, I'm actually 1 credit short, and it's because I took the wrong class." So this homie took 4 years, can't even figure out how to read like the degree audit, figure out what he needs, or even talk to his advisor. Jesus Christ, I'm getting so worked up I can't even speak.
Shout out to that homie. We love him dearly, and I wouldn't change this story for the world.
No, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go talk to him. I'll fight it. They'll let me graduate." Like that's not what they do.
1 year later, he hasn't won that fight yet.
No.
But so he says an advisor lied to him. But let's be real. He just tried looking it up on his own, and
no, the advisor just didn't tell him what he wanted to hear. The advisor's wrong.
There's no way he just knowingly decided to.
He's gonna listen to this and call us out. That's the thing.
Yeah, we love you. Thanks for doing this. So we have pod content.
Yeah, it's great pod content.
Yeah. Oh, the other Snapchat story though that I was, the other show. It's called Phone Swap. Have you heard of it?
You told me about it. And I tried to watch it, and I was just like, "What am I doing?"
Okay, well, you need to try again. For those listeners out there, check out Phone Swap on Snapchat. It's a blind date that they set up with people, and the other person just goes through their phone while they're in the other room. And so, just put yourself in their shoes. Imagine being on a blind date and then giving the person your phone for them to go through and check everything. And then at the end of it, based on what they found on their phone, they decide if they want another date. It's so funny. Maybe
Like
it's just,
you keep bringing up like apps or not. You bring up these shows and they're
Mhm.
already portrait ones. So I feel like you would like Quibi.
That's a good point. I did not think of that.
Yeah. It's like
Does Quibi?
I can't watch these Snapchat stories because they're all like this and
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe if Quibi has reality TV, maybe that's a move I need to make.
That would send me over the edge.
Okay, podcast 5, we're going to give you an in-depth review of Quibi. It will happen.
Don't make promises I don't want to do.
Next week, we're going to do it.
Reid is going to do it. Hey, what's our over-under for this week? Because this is our favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Overrated, underrated. Everyone's favorite segment because it's the only one with a name.
Woo woo!
First up, fishing.
I'd say underrated.
Really?
Yeah, I used to love to fish back when I was like a kid and like growing up. It was like me, my dad, and my brother would go out and do it all the time, like every weekend. Just haven't done it lately. Still enjoy it. Love to watch Bassmaster.
Yeah, I love River Monsters with Jeremy Wade.
Wade.
Fish on. I'm going to go overrated because I've been trying to convince myself to love fishing for 22 years of life now. And pretty much what happens every year is at the beginning of the fishing season, I get excited about it. I go I go buy some bait or something. I go fishing once, and if I don't catch a fish, I don't fish again that season.
Here's the thing. I'm going to tell you this, and this is why you don't like it. You have no patience.
I think I have patience. I think
You have patience, but I don't think you like waiting for that fish.
yeah,
Because I struggled with that.
I probably don't have enough patience, and I probably also I want to say I'm not good enough at it, but I think being good at it would just me. I know there's certain skills you need, which I think I have quite a few of those. I think I just don't have the patience to be good at it because
I feel like you could throw
there's
in
a
a
lot
pod,
of
like throw in a podcast, and just start listening, listen to music, anything like that would help you. Maybe throw in this podcast.
I just feel like I go out there and I'll spend an hour of just catching trees or dragging my bait across the ground and getting it tangled up. And I have so many technical difficulties every time I get out there that it's just, and I haven't caught a big fish in a long time from a pond while fishing. In the past 3 years, I've caught 2 big fish with my hands from them being trapped in small bodies of water due to flooding.
Cool.
But I haven't actually caught a big one with
so
a pole.
manly. Hey, what do you think about web socks? Overrated, underrated?
What do you mean by webbed socks?
The ones that got the toes, like the
toe socks.
Toe socks. Yeah, I didn't know what they're called.
Horrendously overrated, and those aren't even rated by most people. But the fact that they exist means they're overrated. They're disgusting to look at. But I've probably only known 2 people in my entire life to own them.
Okay, Chacos with the foot strap or the toe strap. What do you think about those?
I've tried those on before, and they were very uncomfortable, and I did not like them at all.
So overrated.
Yeah.
Okay, I would have to agree with that. If I'm trying to slide on some chocks and I have to figure out my toe, it's taking too long. Like I'm already dead at that point.
Yeah, it cuts off circulation. Chacos, overrated or underrated?
Like the whole brand.
The strapped sandal.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about just like, they have shoes too.
Yeah, they've
I
got
would
nice boots.
say there are, I'd say underrated.
Overrated.
Okay, that's fair. I
Uh,
can't say overrated just because I don't think they are, but I don't think they're like super underrated. I don't know. I'm just gonna go with underrated.
they're okay.
Reed's insecure about his feet, so that's why.
Well, I don't like feet at all,
Oh,
but there's not. I mean, they're good for very specific scenarios, like if you're going canoeing and you have to step on some sharp rocks when you get out. But there's not a whole lot. I mean, some people say you can do everything in them. Not the case.
yeah, yeah.
My friend and I were in Colorado and we went hiking, and I wore New Balances and he wore Chacos, and he's a regular Chaco wearer. But we just hiked long enough that they absolutely tore up his feet. So you can say, "Oh, mine are broken in. I'm used to them." If you go hiking up a mountain, they're not the right shoe.
Okay, we get it. You're just not in the feet. Hey, all-in-one body washes or shampoo. I don't know how you feel.
I'm gonna say underrated. Um, Here's the thing. I spent my entire youth making fun of all-in-one body wash, calling it ghetto, not understanding how it could wash hair and body at the same time. But that just simplifies your life so much, only having one tube. So if it is real and it actually does work for both of them, I'm going to say underrated. But my problem is I don't think they're actually real. I don't think they possess the shampoo needs I need.
I'm saying overrated. I'd rather spend the time and get two different products and, get products that actually like care about my hair or body wash.
Do you use conditioner?
I don't.
Neither do I. I don't know what it does.
I've been told I have really soft hair though. So,
I've also been told that. I've also been told that my hair is way softer than yours. So
okay, do you really want me to get in the hair right now?
talking of hair, your mustache looks good. Quarantine mustache is overrated, underrated.
Um, I think they're all underrated except for Taylor Williams. Taylor Williams has a gross mustache right now. I'm throwing full names out there. I
Uh,
don't even know if he listens to this. I think he does. Yeah, he did because he texted me. So I think he needs to shave it or trim it.
I think he should definitely keep growing that dirty Sanchez. I'm gonna go underrated. If you don't grow a mustache during quarantine, you're an absolute coward, and don't listen to this podcast.
I don't see a mustache.
That's because the camera is not HD. It's there.
Okay, well, now we know. All right, hey.
Did you learn anything today?
Today I learned so much.
Today I
I'm
learned.
such a fan of Chell, and I just happened to be on something called Reddit, I think.
By
And
Chell, are you talking about NHL?
I'm talking about NHL.
Oh, let's go.
I don't actually love it. I think it's interesting. I just haven't gotten into it. But hey, today I learned when he retired in 1999, Wayne
Gretzky.
I think that's how you say it. Yeah, Gretzky held
Gretzky. Oh,
held.
dear.
Do you mind? I'm reading. Gretzky held or shared 61 NHL records. 21 years later, he still holds or shares 60 NHL records.
That's a good today. I learned another fun fact about Wayne Gretzky.
Um,
Uh,
I
he,
don't think I can learn more than one thing right now about him.
all right, close your ears. He was gambling with Kobe Bryant in Vegas when Kobe was a younger man. Or maybe it was Michael Jordan. It was Michael Jordan. Uh, he was gambling with Michael Jordan, and Michael tipped the waitress a small tip, and Wayne pulls the chip off of the waitress's little thing she was holding and grabs a much bigger chip and throws it on there, and he goes, "That's how we tip in Vegas. That's baller."
Hey, what's your song of the week before we wrap it up?
Song
Wrap it up.
of
Yeah,
the week.
we've been going
I'm
long.
gonna go with NASA by St. Paul and the Broken Bones. It's off the album Young Sick Camellia.
Okay.
St. Paul and the Broken Bones is a soul band that makes alternative music out of Alabama, and the singer is this chubby small white dude that sings with the soul of a million angels, and it's one of my favorite bands. And go listen to NASA, Apollo, Got It Bad, Call Me, all great songs by St. Paul and the Broken Bones.
Mm, hmm.
What's your song of the day?
Song of the week. I don't really know. I mean, I haven't been listening to a lot of music, but I will give a shout out to "Bad Boy" by Young Bay, BB No Money, and Billy Maki Favo. I don't really know how to say the
Be
last
no
name.
money.
I like the last two guys, and the song's not bad. I also want to give a shout out to Joji. He came out with another song. This
Mhm.
one's upbeat. It's pretty. It's just a happier song. It's called Let me look it up.
Well, you look that up.
It's "Give Me Love." Yeah, "Give Me Love" by Joji. That's the real
Nice.
song of the week.
Didn't you do a Joji song last week?
Uh,
You did. You did Run by Joji.
yeah,
Switch it up, man.
I'm into Joji. I'm sorry.
I still don't know who Joji is. I'm going to listen to him after this. Did
Okay.
you see the Bill Clinton meme where people would pick 4 albums with no skips?
Are you talking about this just because I didn't do it when you tagged me?
Oh, funny. So you did see it.
Hey, everybody, thanks for listening, and we will see you next week.
Next week, what's
Next
up?
week. And cut.
Cut.